Hello, esteemed gentlemen, and welcome to the channel. Respect isn't given, it's earned, demanded, or when necessary, taken back. In a world where people test boundaries like kids in a candy store, disrespect can come at you from anywhere. A snarky co-worker, a judgmental friend, or even a stranger with a keyboard and too much free time. Here's a fact to set the stage. The average person faces over 11 instances of subtle disrespect every week, and most don't even realize it. Yes, Karens, that's a bold choice of outfit is an insult. Stay woke. But here's the kicker. While most people waste energy clapping back or stewing in silent rage, a Sigma male operates differently. He doesn't react impulsively or get drawn into petty games. Instead, he turns disrespect into a power play, leaving the offender second-guessing their entire approach to life. Today, we're diving into the real strategies, the ones that make you untouchable, unflappable, and undeniably in control. Whether it's a sharp comeback, a calculated silence, or flipping the tables so hard they reconsider their career as an insulter, this is where the Sigma male mindset shines. Buckle up, because what you're about to learn isn't just about handling disrespect. It's about dominating it, and trust me, you won't need to raise your voice to win. Number 1. Master the double-down echo. When someone throws an insult your way, they expect a predictable response, anger, defense, or even silence. That's where the power of the double-down echo comes in. Instead of reacting defensively, you lean into the insult, agree with it, and then amplify it with an unexpected twist that puts the ball back in their court. This tactic doesn't just neutralize their jab, it flips the entire dynamic, leaving them off balance and questioning their own approach. Here's why it works. Most disrespect is designed to provoke, to make you feel small or defensive. When you double down, you're not just showing that their words don't bother you. You're showing that you can take their petty insult and turn it into something powerful. For instance, if someone says, "You're always so distant," your reply might be, "Absolutely. It's a great way to avoid unnecessary drama." Or if they mock your confidence with, "You think you're better than everyone else," you can casually respond, "Not everyone, but the list keeps growing." By agreeing and amplifying, you accomplish two things. First, you diffuse their insult completely. They can't escalate if you've already owned it. Second, you project control and wit, two qualities that make disrespect bounce off you like rubber. This approach also subtly shifts the spotlight onto them. Their insult suddenly seems petty and pointless because it doesn't land the way they intended. It's not about being cocky, it's about showing that you're unshakable. The beauty of this method is that it doesn't require anger or aggression. You're not stooping to their level, you're staying in your own league where their disrespect is irrelevant, and your confidence speaks louder than their words ever could. Number 2. Deploy the selective memory tactic. The selective memory tactic is a masterclass in control and indifference. When someone disrespects you, their goal is often to leave a mark, to live rent-free in your mind, by deliberately disregarding their comment and acting as if it never happened. You show them how little weight their words carry. This isn't about ignoring them in the moment. It's about erasing their attempt from your narrative entirely. Let's say someone makes a passive-aggressive remark in a meeting like, "Oh, I guess you're finally contributing." Most people might fire back or sulk in silence, which gives their comment power. A Sigma male? He doesn't flinch. He acknowledges the discussion, contributes with confidence, and later interacts with that person as though their snide comment didn't even register. When the aggressor realizes their words didn't even make it to your radar, it's a subtle but crushing blow. The brilliance of this approach lies in its simplicity. By not giving the insult any attention, you mentally remove it from existence. Even if the person tries to bring it up later, you can dismiss it with a casual, "Oh, I don't even remember you saying that." This response is disarming because it forces them to confront how insignificant their attempt was in your world. This tactic also avoids unnecessary confrontation. You're not escalating or engaging, you're simply showing that your self-worth isn't tied to their opinions. It's as if you've drawn an invisible line that they can't cross no matter how hard they try. Over time, people who thrive on disrespect will realize their energy is wasted on you, and that's when you've truly won, not by reacting, but by staying untouchable. Number 3. Introduce strategic pauses. Strategic pauses are a weapon of subtle dominance. When someone disrespects you, their goal is to provoke, to rattle you, or to put you on the defensive. Most people rush to respond, but a Sigma male uses the opposite approach: silence. A carefully placed pause, right after an insult, shifts the dynamic entirely. Here's how it works. When someone throws a disrespectful comment your way, resist the urge to react immediately. Instead, let their words hang in the air. The silence isn't just empty space, it's a psychological vacuum that forces them to confront their own words. People often speak without thinking, and when confronted with that silence, they begin to overanalyze. Did I go too far? Why isn't he saying anything? Is he angry? Or does he just not care? This pause serves multiple purposes. First, it puts the offender on edge. They expected you to react emotionally, and now they're left scrambling to interpret your lack of response. Second, it buys you time to craft a calculated reply or decide if the comment even warrants one. Third, it subtly shifts the power dynamic. By controlling the pace of the conversation, you show that you're the one steering the interaction, not them. The beauty of this tactic is in its simplicity. You don't have to say a word, yet your silence speaks volumes. It's not passive, it's deliberate. And when you finally do speak, your words carry more weight because of the tension that silence created. Whether you choose to respond with a witty remark, a calm observation, or simply let the moment fade away, the strategic pause leaves them questioning their own behavior. That's the mark of someone who doesn't just handle disrespect. They own the situation completely. Number 4. Become the spectator, not the player. Becoming the spectator instead of the player is about shifting your mindset from participant to observer. When someone disrespects you, they're baiting you into an emotional reaction, hoping to pull you into their chaos. Instead of engaging, you take a step back mentally and view the situation as if you're watching a performance unfold. It's a strategy that puts you in control while keeping your emotions untouchable. Imagine someone's throwing verbal jabs, rolling their eyes, or making snide remarks. Most people would react instinctively, defending themselves, firing back, or letting it bother them. But a Sigma male stays calm, detached, and observant. He doesn't internalize the disrespect or take it personally. Instead, he studies the aggressor like a character in a play, their motivations, insecurities, and the underlying reasons for their behavior. This mental distance allows you to remain composed. You're not ignoring them, you're analyzing them. Why did they say what they said? Are they projecting their insecurities onto you? Are they seeking validation or attention? By asking these questions silently, you turn the situation into a puzzle to solve rather than an attack to endure. The beauty of this tactic is that it flips the power dynamic. While they're busy trying to provoke you, you're in a completely different space, calm, calculated, and unaffected. Your lack of reaction is unsettling to them because it denies them the satisfaction they seek. When you adopt the role of the spectator, you signal that their words or actions are beneath your emotional investment. And here's the real kicker. Once you see their disrespect as a reflection of them and not of you, you'll realize how powerless they truly are. This shift isn't just about staying in control, it's about transcending their petty games altogether. Number 5, the Stonewall Disrupt technique. The Stonewall Disrupt technique is the ultimate display of indifference and control. When someone continually disrespects you despite subtle cues or countermeasures, the best move isn't to engage, it's to walk away. Disengaging mid-conversation without saying a word sends a powerful message. Their behavior isn't worth your time, energy, or acknowledgement. Most people respond to disrespect by defending themselves, escalating the conflict, or attempting to win the argument. But by walking away, you take the wind out of their sails entirely. There's no comeback to silence. It's abrupt, it's unexpected, and it forces them to sit with their behavior, often leaving them confused or embarrassed. Here's why it's so effective. Disrespect thrives on reaction. The more someone can provoke you, the more power they feel they have over you. But when you stonewall, completely shutting down the interaction, you deny them any satisfaction. Your silence and exit become a mic drop, signaling that you're not obligated to tolerate their nonsense. This tactic also puts the focus back on them. While they were hoping to get under your skin, they're now left alone, dealing with the void you've created. The room suddenly feels quieter, and their words hang awkwardly in the air. Over time, people who thrive on disrespect will think twice before targeting you because they know their efforts will be met with cold indifference. The Stonewall disrupt isn't about running away. It's about prioritizing your peace and showing that you're unshakable. Walking away isn't weakness. It's a power move that demonstrates you're above their level. And the best part? You don't even need to say a word. Silence is louder than any argument, and your refusal to engage speaks volumes about your self-respect. Number 6. Create reverse pressure. Creating reverse pressure is a brilliant way to flip disrespect on its head. When someone throws an insult your way, they expect you to react emotionally or defensively. Instead of taking the bait, you ask them to elaborate calmly and with genuine curiosity. This simple question, "Could you expand on that?" or "What exactly do you mean by that?" shifts the pressure back onto them. Now they're on the spot, forced to explain or justify their pettiness. Here's why this works. Most insults are impulsive and poorly thought out. They're designed to provoke, not withstand scrutiny. When you ask someone to explain their jab, you turn their casual disrespect into a deeper conversation they likely weren't prepared for. Their insult, which might have felt powerful in the moment, now feels awkward and baseless under the weight of your calm inquiry. For example, if someone says, "You're so full of yourself," respond with, "Interesting. What makes you say that?" Watch how quickly their confidence evaporates. Most of the time, they'll stumble, backtrack, or try to soften their words because they weren't expecting to be challenged in this way. This approach also highlights your composure and intelligence. You're not fighting fire with fire. You're making them confront the emptiness of their words. It subtly exposes their insecurities while positioning you as someone who's above petty conflicts. The beauty of reverse pressure is that it forces them to self-reflect, often leaving them uncomfortable and second-guessing their behavior. It's a clever, non-confrontational way to diffuse disrespect while maintaining your dignity. And the best part? You never have to raise your voice or lower your standards. Let their own words unravel them. Number 7. Embody calm power. Embodying calm power is about showing that no amount of disrespect can shake your foundation. When someone disrespects you, their goal is often to provoke chaos, whether that's an argument, a defensive reaction, or an emotional outburst. They want control of the situation, and they thrive on disrupting your inner peace. A Sigma male, however, operates on a different frequency. By remaining calm, composed, and emotionally detached, you send an unmistakable message. Their words or actions hold no power over you. Calm power doesn't mean ignoring disrespect. It means handling it with deliberate control. If someone tries to bait you with a snide comment or an aggressive tone, your response should be steady and measured. Speak clearly, maintain steady eye contact, and keep your body language relaxed. For example, if someone says, "You think you're so much better than everyone else," a calm reply like, "That's an interesting take," delivered without emotion, can completely disarm them. This approach works because it denies them what they want, your reaction. When you stay composed, it creates an energy imbalance. They're expending energy trying to provoke you while you're conserving yours, unbothered. This not only frustrates them, but also highlights their own lack of control in contrast to your unshakable demeanor. Remaining calm also gives you the upper hand strategically. By not reacting emotionally, you're able to think clearly and choose your responses carefully. Whether you decide to address their behavior directly, pivot the conversation, or walk away, your calmness ensures that every action you take is intentional. Calm power isn't just a defense, it's an assertion of your self-respect. It shows that your peace of mind is non-negotiable and that no one, no matter how disrespectful, has the ability to disrupt your inner balance. Number 8. Develop an unreadable poker face. Developing an unreadable poker face is one of the most underrated but powerful tools for handling disrespect. When someone tries to provoke you, they're scanning your face for a reaction: anger, frustration, or even discomfort. These emotional cues are the fuel for their behavior, but when your expression remains calm, neutral, and unreadable, you rob them of that satisfaction entirely. A poker face is more than just a lack of emotion. It's a deliberate show of self-control. Whether someone hurls an insult or makes a snide comment, your composed demeanor tells them their words are inconsequential. It creates an unsettling dynamic. They can't tell if you're unfazed, secretly laughing at them, or plotting your next move. This ambiguity puts them off balance and forces them to second-guess their own behavior. Maintaining an unreadable expression requires practice. It's not about looking cold or robotic, but about mastering your internal reactions. You train yourself to feel the emotions, but not let them show externally. If someone says, "You're so lazy, I can't believe you're still here," instead of reacting with irritation or defensiveness, you maintain steady eye contact, nod slightly, and let the comment hang. The lack of response often leaves them more flustered than if you'd argued back. This tactic isn't about being passive. It's about conserving energy and controlling the narrative. By staying emotionally neutral, you show that you're in charge of the situation, not them. Over time, this unreadable presence becomes intimidating because it signals strength, focus, and detachment. When people realize they can't provoke you, they're forced to adjust their approach, effectively handing the power back to you without you lifting a finger. Silence and neutrality, when combined, make for an unbeatable strategy. Number 9. Weaponize ambiguity. Weaponizing ambiguity is a subtle yet devastatingly effective way to neutralize disrespect. When someone insults you, they're fishing for clarity. Your reaction tells them if their words landed, if they've hit a nerve, or if they've asserted control. By responding with something ambiguous, you deny them that clarity, leaving their insult floating in uncertainty and their confidence deflated. Ambiguity works because it creates mental chaos. Instead of reacting with anger or defensiveness, you respond with something cryptic, like a faint smirk, a slow nod, or a single word like fascinating or noted. These responses don't confirm or deny anything, and their vagueness forces the aggressor to interpret your meaning. Are you dismissing them, mocking them, agreeing with them sarcastically? The lack of certainty unsettles them, making their attempt at disrespect feel irrelevant or even ridiculous. For instance, if someone says, "You're so quiet, it's like you're not even here," you could respond with a calm, "Perhaps." Or if they quip, "Wow, you think you're better than us?" simply smile faintly and say, "You never know." These responses give nothing away, flipping the power dynamic without escalating the situation. This tactic also protects your energy. Instead of engaging in pointless back and forth or letting the insult linger in your mind, you immediately disarm it. The ambiguity shifts the discomfort back to the person who disrespected you, forcing them to question not just your response but their own behavior. The genius of weaponized ambiguity is that it leaves them stuck in a mental loop, trying to decode your reaction. Meanwhile, you walk away unbothered, maintaining your composure and projecting an air of quiet dominance. Ambiguity, when used correctly, isn't a lack of clarity. It's a power move that leaves your opponent questioning everything. Number 10. Frame their disrespect as admiration. Framing their disrespect as admiration is one of the most clever ways to turn an insult into a form of validation. When someone tries to put you down with a comment like, "You think you're so special," or "You're way too confident for your own good," instead of getting defensive or irritated, you reframe their words as a backhanded compliment. By responding with something like, "Confidence is polarizing, isn't it?" Or, "It's a sign of strength when people notice, right?" You make it clear that their negativity has only highlighted your strengths. This tactic works because it undermines the intent behind the insult. Instead of letting it land as a criticism, you immediately reframe it as a reflection of your positive traits. Confidence is often seen as arrogance by those who lack it. So by treating their jab as praise, you not only take the sting out of their words, you also assert that your confidence is something they secretly admire or envy. For example, if someone says, "You always think you're the smartest one in the room," you can reply with, "I guess that's what happens when you're driven to make an impact." Now you've turned their attempt to undermine you into a recognition of your ambition and intellectual strength. This approach doesn't just diffuse the insult. It makes the aggressor's comment seem silly and unfounded. It's hard to insult someone who clearly sees the value in their own qualities. Over time, this technique teaches others that disrespecting you only elevates you, turning their negative energy into a form of backhanded validation. It's a way of taking control without getting involved in petty arguments, and it leaves you looking unshakable. In a world where disrespect is often used as a weapon to destabilize, mastering the art of handling it with grace, power, and control is not just a skill, it's a statement of self-respect. The strategies outlined here, whether it's creating reverse pressure, embodying calm power, or mirroring someone's energy, are not just tactics, they're reflections of an unshakable inner strength. A Sigma male doesn't need to fight every battle. He chooses when and how to engage. And more often than not, it's with a quiet confidence that leaves his aggressors questioning their own behavior. Disrespect, in its many forms, can never define you unless you let it. By staying calm, controlling your reactions, and turning the tables with strategic silence or a well-timed response, you signal that your peace and self-worth are untouchable. You have the power to transform any negative encounter into a testament to your emotional mastery, where their words hold no weight, and your response is a force of nature in itself. As you begin to apply these techniques, you'll find that respect is no longer something you demand. It's something you naturally command. The more you practice these strategies, the more effortless it will feel to stay untouchable in the face of disrespect. In the end, the best revenge isn't always a direct response. It's simply living your life in such a way that their insults, jabs, and petty attempts to rattle you lose their meaning. You're not just handling disrespect, you're mastering it. And in doing so, you've already won. If you found these strategies powerful and eye-opening, don't miss out on more content that helps you elevate your mindset and master your interactions. Hit that subscribe button so you're always ahead of the curve, and make sure to like if you felt the impact of these techniques. Have a thought or experience of your own with handling disrespect. Drop a comment below. I'd love to hear how you've turned the tables and maintained your composure in challenging situations. Let's keep the conversation going and continue to level up together.